Good evening, hello and welcome to Viewpoint. I'm Anusha Soni. Ahead of the crucial Panchayat polls in the state of West Bengal, once again violence has been reported from different districts of the state, including Birbhum, Chopra, South 24 Parganas and North Dijnapur. On the last day of filing nominations for the three-tier Panchayat polls, once again reports of violence. At least 4 people have been reported dead across the state. In the pre-poll violence that we're talking about, the Calcutta High Court ordered the deployment of the central forces all over the state till the elections conclude. Now, the deployment of the central forces was opposed by the state government at the Calcutta High Court when that hearing really happened. Instead, it preferred taking forces from the other states. The violence before the elections of any kind in the state is not unknown to the politics of West Bengal. Last time, in 2018, when the Panchayat elections were held, the Supreme Court had to intervene and TMC won about 34% of the seats uncontested. This time, the opposition seems to be better prepared. Despite multiple attempts, the state is unable to divorce the democratic process of elections from the anarchy of violence. Where should the onus lie and who's stoking fire in Bengal? Our focus on Viewpoint tonight.
Today, you can see that in an area behind a school in Bhangor, there are 7 bags of bombs. You can see the bombs are inside in the sand. So 7 bags of bombs are there.
I would like to take further action based upon an objective analysis of what I have seen, what I have heard.
ভাঙড়ের ঘটনা তৃণমূল কংগ্রেস করেনি, কেন্দ্রীয় সরকার উঁচিয়ে বসেই আছে। ডান্ডা দিয়ে লোক পেটাও, গুলি দিয়ে মারো, সারা বাংলায় তোমরা সেন্ট্রাল ফোর্স নিয়ে এসো।
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ता पूरी दृढ़ता के साथ, साहस के साथ उस जुल्म और ज्यादती को सहते हुए लोकतंत्र की लड़ाई लड़ने के लिए आगे बढ़ रहे हैं।
ये जो इलेक्शन कमीशन मशीनरी है जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल में है, ये पूरी तरीके से कॉम्प्रोमाइज्ड मशीनरी है और इस मशीनरी अंदर से तृणमूल कांग्रेस को पहले से ही नॉमिनेशन का व्यवस्था करके रखा था।
If we have to give our lives, we are ready to face the torture of central forces.
Well, let's take this question to our full panel. Joining us on Viewpoint tonight, Shishir Bajoria, who's a spokesperson from the West Bengal BJP, Dr. Fawad Halim, who's a senior leader of the CPM, Professor Manojit Mandal, who's a political analyst, all with us on the broadcast. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Professor Manojit Mandal, coming to you first, TMC and the history of political violence in the state of West Bengal. When the party was elected to power, it was expected that it will be a break from what we have seen during the tenure of the left government. The 3-decade rule of the left parties in the state of West Bengal was a history of political violence. But despite the government change and the second term being granted to the chief minister, multiple terms being granted to the chief minister, the violence continues unabated in the state. BJP is asking questions.
The violence in Bengal at the moment is deliberately perpetrated by 4 political parties, BJP, CPM, Congress, and their new alliance, which is Islamic Fundamentalist Party, ISA. The Bhangor is a place which is totally dominated by this fundamentalist party, with which BJP has got open alliance, and so do the Congress and the CPI. Please take any poll of the people out there, you'll understand how these 4 political parties are in complete collusion to create disturbances. No TMC members, no TMC leaders are involved in this political violence that is taking place in Bhangor. But having said that, out of 77,000 booth polling station, you are highlighting only one place, and that is Bhangor, and that explains the whole thing. The MLA of Bhangor, ISF, who is a confirmed criminal, he was in jail for 42 days for vandalism, for rioting and for torching police vehicles on the streets of Calcutta only 3-4 months back. He should have been in jail, but he was out on bail, and he is creating mayhem with the active support, and people are alleging even money is being...
Professor Mandal,
paid by
Professor
BJP
Mandal, two points
support
that I
this
want to
person.
raise with you. Or it is one thing for the TMC to say that none of our party workers are involved in any kind of violence which is taking place. No, one second. But isn't that a partisan position to take? You are the ruling government of the day, and there could be instances where political party workers, without the sanction of the central leadership, could be on the ground indulging in some kind of violence. In fact, there are certain reports, there are certain tweets and statements of the BJP leaders that have come to record. This kind of partisan statement only goes on to say that perhaps the police is not doing its job in an unbiased and in an objective manner.
I'll reply.
Yeah.
Rashid Mullah of TMC, he was killed yesterday by ISF. Did the governor meet Rashid Mullah? The answer is no. Who the governor was talking to? The MLA of that place, who was out of Bangor at that point of time. He was somewhere in Calcutta, right? When this violence was taking place. One of our members, TMC member Rashid Mullah, was killed. Nobody went to visit that person. The bombs, the guns and other ammunitions are being manufactured and used by these people with active support of BJP. I am telling you. Why BJP has not fielded any candidates in Bangor? Please ask this question. How many candidates BJP
Let me bring in the BJP as well. Let me bring in the BJP as well.
Islamic fundamentalist.
Mr. Shishir Bajoria, a lot of questions have been raised by Professor Manojit Mandal as far as BJP's conduct is concerned. And this brand of politics is not unknown. Earlier it was the TMC blaming the left parties and vice versa. And now questions are being raised on the conduct of the BJP and its party workers. Response, sir.
Very clearly what my dear friend Manojit Babu says is that this is all handiwork of BJP. It's the bombs, the killings, everything. So he accepts that his police, I'm saying his police, is not West Bengal police, is a police in, these are Trinamool cadre in West Bengal police uniform, his police. So they are useless. Why aren't they catching us? If we have done it, if we have stocked the bomb, how come 1.5 months before the election was announced, bombs were going all over the place? And each time my chief minister, she happens to be my chief minister also, and his leader would say these are firecrackers. Firecrackers which throw bodies out of the window. This is what she said, firecrackers. Now today, she says that this didn't happen. So ye hoke se kya, Manojit Babu? Governor couldn't go and meet a deceased person. You said he didn't go and meet Rashid Mullah. And Manojit Babu, a second mistake. You know what happens when in your excitement to peddle lies, you keep making mistakes. ISF is not Islamic Front. It's called Indian Secular Front. Hey, aapke dost the, Manojit Babu. Now the problem is that they are not with you. And that 42 days, we all know how this fellow was treated. The MLA, how he was dragged around by your police. And this state police can do nothing. The bombs are going around them. They are just sitting. And they are, and by the way,
Manojit, that's a fair question to ask. And I believe if the BJP and the left parties, according to you, are responsible for this kind of violence, arrest them, put them behind bars. What is the police doing?
The police under Election Commission of Bengal at the moment, they should take action. Not just against the perpetrators, but their leader. I'm blaming it again.
No,
This person was creating mayhem. This person was creating mayhem on the streets of Calcutta, are captured in cameras by your channels included. And now he's defending this Islamic fundamentalist MLA. That suggests is actually a different kind of B team of BJP. This person openly called that Shubhendu Adhikari is his leader. I can show you the videos. And the Calcutta police has alleged.
I'll come to you. Shishirji, I'll come to you. Let him finish his point.
Taking money from BJP. The Calcutta police, while investigating that particular case, they have come up with
I don't think that the state police is under the Election Commission. I think that's one clarification and a factual clarification that I'd like to put. A quick comment from the BJP, then I'll go to my other guest as well. Shishirji, please go ahead.
Today it seems my friend Manojit Babu is completely confused. Which side is he talking? Arey Manojit Babu, this is the State Election Commission. This is the Election Commission under West Bengal government. If you don't know, please open the act. Are Baba, if you say that the state election, you are actually today in a very confused frame of mind.
Manojit, listen to his point. No, Manojit Mandal, please listen to his point. I'll come to you. Shishirji, finish your point, then I'll bring in Dr. Fawad
My
Aleem as well.
point is very short.
Yeah.
That he blamed the State Election Commission, that the police are under him. The State Election Commission, as per the act, is under West Bengal government. Does Manojit Babu not know that?
I do think, Professor Mandal, that there were a lot of factual discrepancies in what you said. Dr. Fawad Aleem, let me bring you into the debate. Professor Gargi Randi Roy is also with us on the broadcast. Dr. Aleem, when we talk about the history of political violence in the state of West Bengal, it's not new. In fact, most of the accounts that you read will tell you that the elections used to be a far more bloody affair in the state. And one expected that with the change of the government, this tradition, this bad tradition, so-called tradition of violence, would sever its ties with the state. That has not happened. The state government is to be directly held responsible for the law and order situation. Why do you think that the state government was opposing the deployment of the central forces, something that the High Court had to very sternly come upon?
Well, if you see the string of results that have come in West Bengal over the past 1 year, the Baliganj by-election is a result on April 2022. The Trinamool Congress had lost a severe part of their voters, and the left came in the second position. The BJP was relegated to the third position. Subsequent to that, the Sagardigi MLA by-election, which was in March 23rd, which is a rural constituency, we've seen that the Left Congress Alliance, the Congress-supported left candidate, won the election. The Trinamool was relegated to the second position, and the BJP became a distant third. If you see what's happening in Bengal at this point of time, the number of nominations that are being filed has a very interesting character. The BJP has left almost what you call 1/3 of the seats uncontested for the Trinamool Congress. The Trinamool Congress has filed seat nominations which is over and above the total numbers of seats that are going into polls, which means that they are going to see that inter-party, what you call fractionalism and feuds and violence, and that has already started in the districts where one group versus the other group of the Trinamool are going to use bombs and guns against each other. As far as the left and the Congress and the ISF alliance is that, you see, this is a very concrete aspirations of the people that is getting reflected here. We've had violence in Murshidabad on the very first day when the elections were declared. We've had violence in Chopra, that's Uttar Dinajpur. We have comrades who are fighting for their lives in the ICU. We've got violence in Bhangur. So it's not only Bhangur that is seeing violence. It's an all Bengal phenomenon. And one has to understand that the police are playing an active role on behalf of the Trinamool Congress, and they are actually trying to ensure that the Trinamool Congress, what you call candidates, they can get a walkover by ensuring that those from the opposition are not allowed to file their what you call nominations.
This was an issue. This was an issue in the 2018 in the last Panchayat elections as well, where about I think over 34% of the seats went uncontested. Now it remains open to debate that was because of the law and order situation or the fact that the opposition was not really prepared for the elections per se.
Debate on this, Anushka. The people of West Bengal do not have an open debate on this. The people of West Bengal are very clear that the Trinamool Congress has ensured that the civil administration, the police administration, organization are all working in sync so that nominations are not filed and people do not get the right to vote.
And the state government has the onus and responsibility to ensure that any political party and its member, if it wants to go to the nomination table and wants to file its nomination, there should be a safe and a secure atmosphere. Professor Gargi Nandi Roy, I'll come to you, Manojit. Professor Gargi Nandi Roy, go ahead, make your point.
Yes. Thank you for inviting me, Anusha. See, I don't think the left can give any lecture to the TMC because I have grown up in West Bengal when it was a left era. So this culture of political violence was started by the left, okay? And now it has been taken to another level by TMC. So
Professor Aleem, let me make a point. I'll come to you.
So let's be very clear. We know the kind of incidents, and since the left had driven away the industry, the TMC also drove away industry. So a flourishing cottage industry of bomb making happened in West Bengal. And bombs used to be made in TMC left era also. So they really cannot give any lectures. Coming to Monojit Das' point, which was done by BJP yesterday or the opposition parties, we have seen, Anusha, yesterday when bombs were hurled and all, Didi's police were standing at a distance. Monojita, it was on media, it was shown. When the journalist went to the policeman, he was the assistant SP. He was saying, where is the sound of the bomb? I can't hear. They were eating. Can you imagine, Anusha? The bombs are hurled, gunfire, cars are burning, and the police at a distance are standing and eating, and we have seen it on television screen. Nothing can be more shocking than that. The problem is, why this much of violence? Why this culture? Because of this abject poverty. And even the left has to be blamed, because it was the left who drove away industry. They glorified poverty, and today so much of abject poverty exists in the villages.
Mr. Manojit Mandal, I want you to answer on 2 points. One is the due security. 2 points, sir. I'm just streamlining it for you. One is the fact that why is it that so many candidates from different political parties complain that they're not able to file the nominations, and there is an atmosphere of fear and intimidation. Second, why did the state government oppose the deployment of central forces in the state when the situation is so tense? 4 people already dead, and it was only after the orders of the High Court that the CISF could be rushed into the state in different parts.
Can you give me
clear?
No, 1 second. Let Manojit Mandal come in. Professor Mandal, please go ahead. Professor Mandal, please go ahead.
Don't be violent in TV studio, madam.
All right, no personal comments. No personal comments. Professor Mandal, please go ahead. Yes.
Clear answer. 231,000 nominations were filed, record in such elections in the country. Maximum number of nominations filed by the opposition. Please take note of this. So this is a narrative planted by BJP, CPM and Congress and this communal party, whatever it is named, in this country, that they are unable to file nominations, right? Point number 1. Point number 2, about deployment of central forces. What did the central force do in 2021 elections? They had the license to kill people openly. 10th April, Sitalkuchi. Please take note of that. 4 voters were gunned down by the CISF. Still people are looking for justice. How many people are killed in Manipur? 150. Central force, what are they doing? Yet we believe the State Election Commission, which is not under state government, please correct your fact, that's a constitutional independent body. If they decide that they will deploy certain forces for CISF, CRPF outside, the state government doesn't have any problem. We do not have any problem. There are 3 places, incidents of 3 places are happening. He is reporting. Even the CPM person, Fuad Halim, he is reported only 3 places some incident took place. And in all these 3 places, Murshidabad, Malda and Bhangor, if you look at the statistics, only the opposition are stronger. So this explains that they are involved in the process of violence. You talk about Birbhum always, not a single incident reported from Birbhum. And yet, the opposition did not have any candidates to file in the nomination. In Birbhum, most of the seats are...
the police in the state of West Bengal, the police...
For God's sakes, in such elections, I'll tell you, in such election, maximum seats went uncontested even in Tripura, Uttarakhand. Please take note of that. 80% seats in Tripura.
Well, sir, you have to read the... No, sir, you're right in saying that. But no, 1 second. We have picked up Bengal. So did the states like other states that you mentioned, Uttarakhand and the northeastern state, did that case go to the Supreme Court? And did the Supreme Court have to intervene and tell you that, look, there is a law and order situation? No. So, sir, the problem of violence in the state of West Bengal is a well-known fact.
No, please, you and I know what has the Supreme Court said in 2018 election.
You tell me what it is.
Supreme Court has given thumping approbation to 2018 elections. Thumping approbation.
Sir, 1 second. Sir, 1 second. It is one thing. Sir, 1 second. Professor Mandal, 1 second. it is one thing for the Supreme Court to say that yes, the process of elections went fair and fine, but as a journalist and as a reporter, I've covered the hearings when in one second, sir, let me finish my point. When in one hearing after another, the West Bengal government was pulled up because they were not doing their job properly. You can go back to multiple reports, media reports and court orders. No, let me go to Shishir Bajoria as well. Shishir Bajoria, the straight question that the TMC is asking you here is that there are clear instances where communal tensions are being created by the BJP. You are using communal issues to somewhere flare up the balance and perhaps use the polarizing atmosphere to create your voter base. The TMC clearly argues that the state government is doing its bit. The police has done its job. In fact, BJP is the troublemaker. This has been their narrative on multiple instances that we've seen. Please go ahead, sir.
My friend, the professor, quoted an example of Sitalkuchi. And he said 4 voters were killed. He possibly, again, does not know that those 4 who came to snatch the weapons of the central forces were not voters when they were found snatching the weapons. Now, there's a platoon of armed people and their weapons are being snatched. What do you expect them to do? Manojit Babu, if you do not know, please know you've come with wrong facts today. You're all on the back foot today. They were not voters. Now,
No. I will go to Professor Mandal and give him the opportunity to respond to this. Let the BJP finish his argument. Professor Mandal, I'll come back to you.
Now, the other is, they do not want central force. Madam, that was your question to him?
Yeah.
Why? But they want other state forces. So they have accepted that they do not have adequate forces, and yet the DG and CS of the state has given an undertaking to the commission, we have adequate forces. This was again a misrepresentation, and they say we'll take... See, because my chief minister, she also, again I'm repeating, my chief minister, she has this great thing of putting the opposition unity. She wants forces from other opposition states. Politics isme bhi hai. Force
but Shishirji, there is a fair point that Professor Manojit Mandal made. Though I agree that the history of violence in the state of West Bengal is something that should be put into the political context when we talk about the number of uncontested seats. But the fact that in local panchayat elections, a lot of seats may go uncontested and the trend is not unknown to the Indian politics is the point that the TMC is making and perhaps should be countered by you if you disagree.
See, very, very simple.
Yeah.
Last time, 25,000 seats they won. Out of the 36,000 seats that they won in total, 25 they won unopposed. You can see that where there's competition, these guys don't win because they have to win uncontested. This time, what took them by surprise, see, at the end of the day, their goons, their police force, they can do whatever they want. But people's power is people's power.
But Shishirji, they argue that it's in fact the BJP goons. You in fact get the leaders from other states to create a law and order problem in the state. That's their argument.
No, Anushaji, I'm again saying, why aren't they being caught? The chief minister comes on television and says that Bhangur was done by BJP. Catch the culprits.
It's not Bhangur, it's
Why
Bangalore.
aren't the culprits being caught? Why aren't the culprits being caught? A revolver is found in a TMC Neta's pocket. The police stands there and says, why aren't you running? And he says, I am TMC Neta. Finally, they had to snatch the revolver from him. But the police never asked for his remand. The magistrate was forced to give him a judicial custody.
All right, Professor Mandal, a quick response from you. Then I'll go to Dr. Fawad Halim and Garge Nandi Roy.
Abhishek Banerjee was attacked 4 days back by one of their goons ministers. What is his name, Shantanu or whatever, and this happened on TV. Shantika Banerjee in Bankura was attacked by BJP goons. That was also captured by TV. What are we talking about? Shubhendu Adhikari every other day making inflammatory comments about how he will attack police and people. And I want the answer. Why don't you find a single seat in Bangor? It's not Bhangur, it is Bangor, because you have alliance with this communal party. And yet you are saying that maximum number of nominations have been filed by you. You said right now. And still you are complaining? These are all peddle of lies that these people are spreading every other day to malign the state, which they have been doing for the last 5-6 years, BJP. And now they have alliance in Congress, CPM and this fundamentalist party. So
No,
Let us-
Professor
let
Mandal,
us say one thing.
I
The-
agree
one
to
of
you
the-
on to the extent that whatever your political opponents say is not the gospel truth for the state of West Bengal.
I tell you one thing,
and
Anusha,
one second, sir.
violence-
But one expected that with the new chief minister, the change of government, and a new political party,
Yes.
this culture of violence would
Yes,
go
it
away. That has not
changed.
happened.
I tell you, it has changed.
Okay.
Earlier, what used to happen in CPM's rule, Jungle Mall area, every other day there will be rain
Dr.
of
Fawad
dead
Ali,
bodies.
each time
Every
when we are
other day.
discussing on the violence that has claimed 4 lives so far, and it's the recent issue, the historical burden of political violence in the state of West Bengal is on the left parties. And this is a question that all your political opponents, and in fact analysts, are also asking you, that left parties are responsible for this.
But it's very clear, you have to understand that prior to the left regime in West Bengal, you didn't have panchayat elections. You see, Mamata Banerjee, Subrata Mukherjee were part and parcel of the last Congress government that gave up power here in West Bengal to the left regime, did not conduct panchayat elections. It's only after 1977 that the left front came into power. The local governance was given priority and panchayat elections started to be held and people were given their right. And Jyoti Basu made the famous statement that West Bengal will not be ruled or run from writers' building. But having said that, one has to come, these are questions of distractions. Mamata Banerjee is inherently anti-panchayat because when she actually understands her relevance in prior to 1977, before the political left came to power, she was not in favor of panchayat elections or panchayati raj. That's her entire legacy. So, having said that, let us discuss what's happening today. She's been ruling the state for the past.
On a teens when you came to power.
Professor Mandal, I'll come to you for closing comments. You can take your objection. You can make your point. One second. Let him make his point. I'll come to you. You see that in your closing comments. Yes, Professor.
That Mr. Mandal has eaten his own words on your program. He started off with Bhangur is the only place that violence is taking place. And then he goes on to quote me and say that, okay, Dr. Halim has mentioned 3 places. I can mention another, what you call 100 places here, but it's going to take time. We can talk about Burdwan. But what is actually happening, I'll just illustrate to you.
Yeah.
In Burdwan, the Trinamool Congress organization tried to stop the filing of nominations. The local people took the left candidates to file their nominations in such numbers that the TMC MLA had to come and ask for apology. उसे माफी मांगने पड़ा जनता के सामने क्योंकि उन्होंने nomination को अटकाया था. So this is the reality in Bengal. There is a groundswell against the Trinamool Congress and that B team, there's the Bharatiya Janata Party. One has to keep in mind all the people from the TMC who are not getting nominations.
With due respect, sir, you might argue the groundswell against the BJP or the TMC. But the left party is facing unprecedented historical decimation in the state of West Bengal. You can't deny that, can you?
That's changing. That's what I'm telling you. If you look at Baliganj by-election results, if you look at the Sagirdi by-election results, these are clearly telling you that the mood of here is changing. And one should not forget that despite the all Bengal violence that's taken place, you've seen the Bharatiya Janata Party, hold hands with the separatist, ideology holding parties in the North Bengal, in the Darjeeling district. They are actually going together to form a front with the GJM and the other separatist forces. The Manipur,
A quick comment from Gargi Nandi Roy as I begin to wrap the debate. Professor Roy, we can continue to talk about who's responsible, BJP, TMC. On each occasion, there are instances, there are examples of how the judiciary has had to step in. Various human rights organizations, the National Human Rights Organization had to play a key role in ensuring that the culture of violence is put into control when electoral processes take place. Would you agree, or do you agree with this contention that compared to the past, the instances of violence, the severity and the scale of violence in the state of West Bengal has progressively come down?
No, it has not come down, Anusha. The ghost of the post-poll violence still haunts the people of Bengal, where Khala Hobe became synonymous to rape when told to a woman and became synonymous with murder when told to a man. So it has not come down. But I have a question to the left. See, today left, Congress, all candidates are attacked in West Bengal by the TMC. They are complaining against TMC, but they are forming an opposition alliance with the TMC in the center against BJP. So what kind of hypocrisy is this, Mr. Halim?
Well,
your
ma'am,
candidates are getting attacked by
that's
TMC,
a brand of hypocrisy that exists in politics across the world. I don't think that's the point of debate here. But Professor Roy, I appreciate the points that you're making. Professor Mandal, you wanted to make a point. You had few interjections to make.
Seconds.
Yes.
You know, there will even central forces cannot save Bengal. Let me tell you.
One second.
Monojita, we know because, you know, bike-borne TMC goons visit houses which are marked as non-TMC, threatening people not to come.
Professor Manojit Mandal, as you make Professor Mandal, as you make the closing comments, here is what I want to know as a journalist and from the side of the citizens of the state of West Bengal, whichever political party, forget it's the BJP, the left, or some other communal organization, as you argue, or the workers of the TMC. The police should do its job. I think the most worrying aspect is that there are certain videos or evidence, quote unquote, that has come on record that show that the police is not doing its job, or the police is hand in gloves with the people who are perpetrating violence.
Anusha, police are also human beings, and they have to survive. The kind of bombs are being hurled at them by the BJP and ISF goons. The one difference that you need to make is to CPM violence and what is happening at this point in time. The CPM and BJP, they are known to use the state machinery to create violences. Now, these violences, which are largely limited to certain pockets in Bengal, but I repeat, should be blamed on the opposition because they are involved. TMC is in the receiving end.
Sir, I reiterate my question. Sir, even if I were to take your question on the face value.
But they use state machinery to perpetrate violence.
Professor Mandal, even if in Delhi today, if there is any political opponent, any political party which indulges into violence, then the question will not be that why is that political party doing the violence? The question would be on Delhi police, what were they doing on the spot? Why didn't they do their job? And the same analogy holds true for any state in the country. The police has to do its job,
Show me single TMC leaders being arrested for post-poll violence who is investigating
the problem is
CBI under High Court order. Show me 2 TMC leaders being arrested for this post-poll violence narrative. Please ask CBI to demonstrate 2 TMC leaders who are arrested for post-poll violence. And here you have this narrative of post-poll violence.
All right, you've made your point. You've made your point. Professor Faudalim, a quick point from you. One second. One at a time, please. Professor Faudalim, make your point. Professor Halim. Yes.
I am saying that when in front of the police, bombs are being hurled, bullets are being fired, and the police are saying that we are not seeing anything, we do not hear anything, then the question of arresting TMC leaders does not arise. Then the police and the civil administration,
absolutely. That was my initial question to Professor Mandal.
Circle and not allow people from the opposition to enter the office to file their nominations, then the reality of an arrest is very far away.
All right, I have to, as I wrap this debate, Mr. Shishir Bajoria, once again, the question is that the deployment of central forces is something that the state government resisted. It once again shows the kind of mistrust that exists between the center and the state as far as the administration of the state is concerned. I already raised questions about the police inaction, which many panelists have already raised here. But this mistrust that prevails is clearly partisan and political in nature. And the TMC continues to insist that the police is doing its job. It's the BJP which is going around with bombs and with arms and ammunition and creating problems of law and order in the state. Mr. Shishir Bajoria, if you can hear me, sir, please go ahead. Make your point.
A very quick wrap up.
Yes.
First of all, my thanks to Manojit Babu for accepting the fact when he said police are human beings. वो नहीं करते हैं. He knows this. That is why he said. Now, second, as far as the Dr. Fuad Halim is concerned, Dr. Fuad Halim, I think you're confusing the issue of calling BJP the B team. Don't forget, you are claiming victory when you come second. You're claiming victory when you partner someone who wins. You're claiming, and you are the party who ran the state for 34 years. Dr. Fuad Halim, itna to sharam kar lo. And even in today's nomination, we filed 55,000. You were not even close. You were 47,000. And you call us a B team. Well, if you want to, if you feel happy about it, go ahead. It's your choice.
All right. We just hope, and ensure, I think the onus is on the state government to ensure that the electoral process, the Panchayat election or the local body election process, which is very intrinsic to the democratic spirit of India at the local level, at the regional level, is something that goes on unabated and more importantly without any law and order situation. The High Court has intervened and all eyes, as and when the polling happens and the results come out. With that, it's a wrap. Shishir Bajoria, Dr. Fawad Halim, Professor Manjeet Mandal, Professor Gargi Nandi Roy. Thank you all for joining us this evening and thank you for sharing your views. We're slipping into a very short break. Up next on Viewpoint, the communal fault lines return in Karnataka as the Congress government moves to repeal the anti-conversion law. BJP has accused the government appeasement politics. The debate after a very quick break.